JP poll version 4, the week 4 poll here. It's ratings, it's not rankings. We are going to have some movement that makes no sense to you if you believe in a merit-based up or down, whether you won or lost. This is not an AP. This is not looking to mirror the College Football Playoff Committee. This is not how I think the committees should rate their teams. This is how, in a pure neutral field favorability model, the model would rank these teams on a neutral field based on the number it would put on the game. So, we do have a change at the top. Ironically, it's the same as the AP. Texas is our new number 1 team, and we would favor them by 2.5 points against Georgia if they played today. So there was big movement here both ways. More on that because those two teams are going to play each other in a few weeks. Ohio State is still 3, Bama is still 4. Oregon has reemerged in the top 5. I tried to explain the profile of Oregon. We had them all the way down at 9, but I tried to explain it was like pulling a rubber band because whenever Oregon just starts to validate what the preseason profile was on them, it'll be like a rubber band snap. They'll be right back up there. They are. There is a 7-point gap between Texas and Oregon right now. If we put Texas, Oregon neutral field, the model says 7. I'll have to hit up FanDuel about what they think about it. But that's not a massive gap. We normally have a much bigger gap between 1 and 5 than that. Number 6 is Tennessee. They hung 490 points on Kent State and fell a spot. Shame on them. Ole Miss at 7. Miami is at 8. And it says they dropped 2 spots. But Miami actually rose in terms of their rating. It's just that a couple of teams vaulted above them because they rose more. Penn State is at 9. USC is at 10. Most of these are unchanged. Now, 11 through 15, I do want to make a little point about. So Clemson is at 11. Clemson is now at, and in fact, a little bit above our preseason rating. They are 0.2 points above where we had them coming into week 1. So that loss to Georgia, that body bagging at the hands of Georgia, is baked into that, and we still think the number on Clemson is right. Missouri is at 12. You notice this time last week, we had a bunch of people chirping at us about Missouri. We have underrated Missouri. And then I asked, well, what should they be rated? And some guy came at me and said, oh, I would pick, who was it? I'd pick Oregon, I'd pick Penn State. There were like 3 or 4 teams he listed. There's no way you'd favor them over Missouri. So I went to FanDuel, and I said, hey, the entire purpose of this thing is favorability neutral field. Could you give me what the lines would be? And 4 out of 4, they would have been favored over Missouri. I didn't hear anything from those folks this week. Probably because they trailed Boston College early. Probably because they realized their secondary is a little bit of a liability right now. And having them at number 12 is plenty high enough because that's where we have them. So we were probably right on Missouri. And then we'll see how they perform down the stretch. Notre Dame at 13. I think they're too high. Model disagrees. Kansas State at 14. LSU at 15. LSU dropped 1 point after winning on the road at South Carolina. 16 through 20. I am very proud of the model when it comes to Louisville because we have remained virtually unchanged on Louisville, and everyone else I don't think even had them rated, and we've been pretty consistent. We have not changed. They have not even adjusted a full point. We already had them rated really high. They're at 16. Utah's at 17. They have Cam Rising back this week. A&M 18. UCF is now the number 3 team in the Big 12 at number 19. Big win against TCU this past week. Oklahoma is at number 20. Oklahoma is down a little more than a field goal off of their preseason power rating. Number 21. Let's all clap together. Iowa State, America's team. The Iowa State is to college football in 2024 what the Dallas Cowboys are to the NFL, what the Braves were in the 90s to Major League Baseball. And you're welcome. You're welcome for being blessed with Iowa State football. They're 21. Iowa is 22. Nebraska, 23. Michigan is down 5 more spots to 24. They've bottomed out. I think that's as low as Michigan will go this year. Tennessee, or TCU rather, is number 25. If Tennessee was 25, we would have a conversation. So, I'm looking at the Big 12, and I'm looking at the ACC. And not that this will be what the final measuring stick is, but there's a healthy amount of Big 12 representation here, which just means I think they've got a lot of pretty competitive teams. And, teams like Kansas have already fallen out. They're not even part of this. And I'm just wondering, as so many people You keep putting out these playoff brackets and projections and whatnot, and I keep seeing one Big 12 team in there. Is that the way it's automatically got to go down? Do we automatically have to adhere to what we thought about the Big 12 in the preseason? Can we not allow some wiggle room in the accordion? Can we expand it and contract it based on, I don't know, what our eyeballs are seeing? Can we do that?